welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. And today we have a special guest, Dr. Jousette. She is here with us from Pathways. She runs a program for GLSS. She does a whole bunch of stuff. She has a program here at Lynn Community Television. I'm sure plenty of people have seen her program. And today she's here to discuss the men's forum that will be taking place next month. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day outside, so I'm enjoying the weather. Right now we have this men's forum that will be taking place on November 12th. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a yearly forum.
Yes, it's something that was started by my predecessor, Muriel Clement. She did one a year prior before I started with GLSS, and then I took over the program and I developed relationships with some of the doctors at the Lynn Community Center. And amazingly enough, I connected with the most wonderful doctors there. Mm-hmm. And first of all, I got to thank Dr. Kiami because he literally said to me, "What do you need? Who do you want? And who do you want to help you?" And now this will be my second year running it. And to be honest with you, I feel so fortunate that I found these gentlemen to work with. And there's also someone from GLSS that's going to be working and helping us with this program as well. There's a lot of information we have for the gentlemen, and we're hoping to reach our community. Mm-hmm. You know, I could be wrong, but I think Lynn is a community that may be underserved because of the socioeconomic situation, but the resources that are in there via GLSS, via the Lynn Health Center, those are amazing resources. Yeah. And the Lynn Community TV, what you guys do there is incredible, getting information out. So I'm excited to talk about this, definitely.
And I was there last year. There was a decent amount of men that came and learned a lot. So, you know, in putting these two things together, last year, now this year, you know, what are some things that you've noticed in putting this together? And then what are like your hope? What are you hoping something happens this year that didn't quite get to happen last year?
Well, let's start with the second question. What I'm hoping is to reach a larger audience because the information is necessary and is vital for the men in our community. So I'm hoping to reach Saugus, Nahant, and Marblehead, all of it, wherever we can get this information out in the North Shore. I would love to get this information out. One of the things that we're going to do different this year is that we have 2 extra speakers. Last year, we had 2 wonderful doctors talk to us. This year, it's a bigger program. Mm-hmm. We're going to have Dr. Clark, which he works at the Lynn Community Center, and he's going to be talking about how to manage diabetes, how to take care of yourself, and so forth. And he is a wonderful doctor. He lives in Lynn. Oh. He knows the community. He's part of it. He's integrated, and he's so sociable, so friendly, and he loves sports. Don't get him talking about sports. That's his thing. He loves sports. And just in general, one of the things that stands out by the group that I've chosen to work as the panelists for this men's forum, each and every one of them have a love for the community. Mm-hmm. They care and they serve this community, which separates them from everybody else. Everybody else comes in and does their little work and then they leave. No, these people work, live, and they love the community they serve. I've handpicked them personally. And what was difficult last year was it was basically the second time this program was done. And by the time I ran it last year, it grew a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I was new to the game, you understand? Yeah. New to the Lynn community, new to everything. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. So I still get lost in Lynn, trying to find my way around. I still get lost anywhere in New England because everything is in a circle. Yeah. I noticed that. I come from a city that's in a grid. So last year, just trying to recruit people to join the program and see its value was difficult. But this year, I am hoping via this program and the advertising that we're doing that people would see how important it is and that women would sign their husbands up, girlfriends would sign their boyfriends up. You know, I think the women have to get involved in this one to get the men to really say, you know, I need to learn this information. One of the things, one of the persons that we're going to be interviewing, Ben Graff, he's the program manager in the nutrition department at GLSS. I want to say something about Ben. Not only does he run the nutrition department, this man is highly intelligent. You can ask him anything about nutrition. He can break it down to the most minute. But one thing that separates him from other people, I would say, is that here he is, the program manager, running this huge program, Meals on Wheels. Thousands of meals go out. Do you know he personally brings boxes of food to another program that I work with? Personally. He doesn't send staff. He doesn't get other people involved. He personally carries these boxes, heavy boxes of brown bags, brings them, delivers them to me so that I can feed some seniors. And that within itself tells you the quality of people that are going to be talking in this program. We're also going to have a scientist there, and he's going to talk about his personal struggle with diabetes and how he has managed it and how he has not only survived but thrived. Then we're going to have a psychiatrist that's going to be working with us, and he's amazing, Dr. Carlos Capas. He's from Puerto Rico, and you know, because I'm Puerto Rican, I'm gonna like say yay, yay to the people. So all these wonderful professionals are gonna be working to talk to the men. Then I'm gonna jump in, and I'm gonna talk about the spiritual side of things, because I believe men need to connect to their higher self or the higher power, whatever you know you want to call it. I believe that when a man is spiritual, he's more powerful. He's stronger. There's wisdom when you know how to go inward and you know how to just, you know, relax yourself and put yourself in a state. So all of these areas are important. Our minds, our bodies, our nutrition, and our spiritual lives. And those are the topics we're going to be covering.
Yeah, and an important one is the nutrition. And, you know, you talked about diabetes, you know, in a community with so many diverse people, you know, African American men, we got Latinos, we got Asians, we got so many diverse. And one thing in all these communities that you find they all have in common is the history of diabetes in their family, or the history of high blood pressure in their family. And some don't really focus on that or take good care of themselves as they should. And that's one thing I like about you guys did this last year and also doing this year, is making sure they take care of themselves and they know about, you know, their family health issues, or family health history, I should say, and then they take the proper protocol and proper precautions to make sure they keep themselves healthy, because diabetes and high blood pressure is just a thing that so many people die from, and it's something that can be avoided. It's a death that can be avoided if you do the proper care and if you get the proper knowledge of knowing what to do and how to, you know, control it.
You know, knowledge is power. And as you said, in our community, that is prevalent. We deal with that. I think we all know someone who has either high blood pressure or diabetes, especially in our Hispanic and Black community. This is prevalent. So my hope is that when these medical professionals begin to talk to our community, that they're going to give you tools to be able to manage it and master it. Because one thing is to manage something, another thing is to master it. So we're going to take you from the learning what it is, what it can do to you, and not to scare you, but you need to understand, like, high blood pressure is a silent killer. People don't even know they have high blood pressure, and they suffer an aneurysm or a stroke or a heart attack. They have no idea, because high blood pressure is sneaky. You don't have to be obese for high blood pressure. There are people that are physically fit, they look wonderful, and they have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So it is one of these things that sneak up on you. And then diabetes is one of the most horrendous things to deal with, because we love to eat.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
one thing that we die by our mouths, by what we're putting in our mouths. And a lot of people in our community don't pay attention to the fried foods. They're like, well, this is cultural. I grew up on fried chicken. I grew up on rice and beans, heaping plates of rice and beans. Well, guess what? That heaping plate of that white rice, someone who's diabetic and they don't know they're diabetic,
Hmm.
is a death sentence.
Yeah.
So hopefully, not only are we going to tell you what diabetes is, what hypertension is, what it does to the body, we're going to teach you how to work within the parameters of that disease that you may have or that health issue. But then we're hoping to take it to the next level to help you master living with it. And this is where Dr. Vile, the scientist, comes in. This man has lived with this health condition for years.
Hmm.
He is in the top of his game. He is healthy, strong, looks wonderful, and he's going to give everyone tools on, listen, you can do this. You can live with this and be successful and do well in life. And once you master this, you don't have to live in fear. Not only do we need tools in life to do things well, but I think we should learn to use our tools the right way. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, one thing is to know how to use a hammer. Another thing
Yeah.
is how to use the hammer to build the house.
Yeah.
I'm about, let's build the house. So part of my desire for our community is that we built a community of knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Hmm.
And we can go around doing everything we want, but we have to take care of this temple. We have to take care of this body.
Yeah.
And I want the men in our community, which are strong men, which are wonderful men, to be healthy, to be strong, to be around, to finish raising those kids, you know what I mean? And be grandpops and just the next generation. I would love to see someone that was diagnosed, let's say at the age of 20 or 30 with diabetes, because diabetes has no number. There's juvenile diabetes. It has no number. But if you know how to live with this thing and you learn how to master it, you can live a productive life. And that's my goal, to empower the men, give them the information, and just to raise their egos as well. Because sometimes when men are diagnosed with a chronic condition, they get depressed.
Hmm.
That's where Dr. Capas will come in, helping men deal with the stress of learning that they have this condition, and helping them manage the depression that can come with it. Because you can get depressed if you hear, oh, you have diabetes. You start to think, oh, am I going to lose a toe and then lose a foot? And that's, am I going to lose limbs? Am I going to go blind? There's a lot of things. So Dr. Capas is going to show you how to deal with, the depression side of it.
Yeah. And also another thing to go off with that, a lot of men in general, it's just men in general, have a hard time opening up or expressing themselves, expressing how they feel. And I think some of that is due to how they were raised or how they grew up, because it was still a time. I know my parents, some people's parents grew up in a time where, you don't really get shown emotion by your parents.
Men don't cry.
Yeah, men don't cry. I mean, don't tell other people your problems. You just keep it all to yourselves. And now in this day and age, we're seeing more older men that grew up that way, and they're finally opening up, and they're going to therapy sessions. They're going to see psychologists. They're talking about their problems, and that's something to be promoted. And that's also something that you guys are doing, is just trying to get with the psychologists. You guys are trying to have more men open up, and I think that's great, because if you can't open up, there's no point in keeping stuff bottled up and just
I agree.
not letting it out.
Men have a certain voice, which is the masculine voice. And that masculine voice always sounds like, I have everything under control. I'm not going to show my emotions. And, here I am, I'm the man, I'm the macho. Or that's the voice that a man always has. But there's a deeper voice that a man needs to express, is the voice of their feelings, of their true inner thoughts. And this is why I recommend coaching, life coaching and transitional coaching as well, because I think men need to be coached out of the fear of speaking what's really in their hearts. They'll say the shallow things. You understand? They'll say the shallow things. They'll talk about work. They'll talk about business. They will talk about certain things, but they don't want to talk about their health. They don't want to talk about having marital problems. They don't want to talk about that they're depressed. They don't want to talk about that they actually cried through the night and no one knew that they cried because they were so broken. So this is the voice that men have been missing. And I'm hoping to give men license to show that side. It doesn't mean that they're feminine by doing this. And if they have a feminine side, wonderful, great. You know, femininity is not bad. It's a good thing. Trust me. So sorry about that. So that voice needs to be expressed as well. Mm-hmm. And hopefully through this program, we're going to get you to want to say, hey, I'm one of the person that needs help. I'm interested in learning how to take care of myself. And I'm also interested in just voicing who I really am. And hopefully we could get this all done. And I hope to do one every year and bring new faces and new ideas to this men's program.
Yeah, because there's definitely layers to this forum. There's layers that are all intertwined with each other. And that's one of the great things about a forum like this. Now, I know it's gonna be done virtually, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
It's gonna be virtual. So how tell me a little bit about the setup and how the virtual setup that you all have.
Well, we're going to be doing Zoom, and people can reach. They're going to reach me directly. They can go in the GLSS website, which is gliss.net, and they can register on gliss.net. And if they want to reach me personally, they could go JANAYA at gliss.net, and they can reach me via email. But it's preferably going through the gliss.net webpage and registering on there. And once you register, I will send you the Zoom link, and then I will be there hosting the program with the other professionals. And it's going to be 3 hours long, but we'll get a little break in between, but it's worth it. The information is worth your time. Definitely. Sometimes we invest on a game and other things that we do or video game. Listen, invest on you getting better or understanding health issues that your parents may have, and you can help them to understand things.
All right. And just one more time, please let them know the date and also let them know the deadline to register.
Okay, so the date is November 12th at 1:00 is when we're holding the men's forum. Now, deadline all the way to the night before you can register, because we want to get people in, but don't wait to the last minute, because we don't want the system to crash and then we can't get you in there. So the sooner the better, because we want to put in the numbers to see what we're dealing with. And I appreciate that you've given me the time to share about this. Mm-hmm. And I know you're a big advocate about bringing information to the community.
Definitely.
I'm thankful for this moment you've given me.
Definitely. And then also let them know about some of the other stuff you got going on at GLSS.
Well, GLSS has a plethora of programs. It's one of those agencies that just goes into the community and brings changes. Meals on Wheels is one of the programs. And everybody knows what Meals on Wheels is, basically. So they have the Meals on Wheels program. They also have programs where they bring in-home services for seniors who need it, or people who are incapacitated. So sometimes you'll have a visiting nurse come in. You will have a social worker come in, and they do an assessment, and based on that assessment, services are brought into your home. And you can go on the GLSS website and see all the services that can be provided for you. You can contact GLSS directly. Mm-hmm. And most of all, what I would like to say about GLSS is that GLSS is all about the community. They are 100% about the community, and they care about the seniors. They care about bringing services. And I love GLSS. I'm honored to be part of that team. And even though I do other things like the life coaching and so forth, the opportunity to work with GLSS has put me within this community, which is, I am a community person. I love grassroots work, and it's provided that for me.
All right. Dr. Jousette, thank you for coming along and giving us information about the men's forum, which will take place November 12th, starting at 1 p.m. Make sure you go to register, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time. You stay safe there, okay?
I'm trying. You guys
Take care. God bless, my friend.
God bless. You guys been watching the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.